What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Julie and the Phantoms has been one of the most watched music teenage shows on Netflix, partly because of the magic and the ghosts, partly because of the actors, and mostly because of the singing. However, we found out that Julie and the Phantoms looks very different on the set. So here's what Julie and the Phantoms really looks like behind the scenes. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. Other Side of Hollywood and the Other Side of the Show. One of the most epic dance scenes on the show was the group dance for the song The Other Side of Hollywood. The Phantoms got to see a show of their lifetime before they too joined everyone on the dance floor. Legs flinging, hips moving, and butts shaking. This was one of the coolest scenes on the show. Because this scene had so much movement, the costume designer had to redo the tight blazer that Cheyenne Jackson's character, Caleb Covington, wore in the scene. The blazer didn't offer the actor any freedom of movement, so they made it a lot more comfortable. And to make it so cool, they had to shoot the scene for an entire day. They did a lot of retakes, there were a lot of selfies, and a lot of jokes. Hey, the guys had to find ways to pass the time. It's not like they were acting the whole time. Number 9. Perfect Harmony wasn't perfect from the first take. We'll remember Perfect Harmony not so much for the song, but for the actual dancing. You see, Julie and Luke did this romantic and seductive dance that took our breath away. But to perform this complex dance routine, Madison Rayes and Charlie Gillespie had to practice like crazy. For example, during this rehearsal, you can see Charlie was wearing knee bands. They were probably dancing the entire day and he didn't want to get injured. Or how about this rehearsal they did outside? Now, some of you might say that it's just a rehearsal, but these two were so convincing that we're starting to wonder if they're being professional or just falling for one another. Number 8. Kenny Ortega had to intervene in Now or Never. This is the first time we got to see the band perform on the show. This was back in 1995 when these guys smashed that like button just like you should do if you haven't already. But no, in reality, it was when the boys were still alive, and Now or Never was one of their most popular songs. But precisely because this was their first song, Kenny Ortega, the show's director, had to intervene and help them out. It was one of their very first scenes, so they did need help with the coordination. Kenny made some remarks on the eye contact between the band members and how they moved on the set, but for the most part, it was a clean act. Now, we were a little disenchanted to see the stage was so small and there was no big audience in the background besides the cast and crew, but hey, the final cut was flawless. Number 7. The cast sings and takes selfies even when they're not filming. We told you that The Other Side of Hollywood was one of the hardest scenes to shoot. It's probably the scene with the largest number of cast members, and because they had to shoot this one scene for a very long time, they had to find different ways of entertaining themselves. First, they all started singing We Will Rock You. Even Kenny Ortega joined in. And then we saw the cast and crew taking selfies, doing goofy poses, and then showing each other what's the funniest photo they've taken in between takes. Man, seeing this made us want to join the cast. This doesn't feel like work. This makes you feel like you're at a party.
Everything has got to have price. The happiness is.
Number 6. Stand Tall had some malfunctions. And no, we're not just talking about the time Luke couldn't appear on the stage. We're talking about all of the behind-the-scenes shots that show us how the cast was reacting when they heard Stand Tall for the first time. Immediately after, the director got the stars together and they rehearsed some of the dance moves and experimented with the staging. Now, and you know what, even during the rehearsal, Charlie had trouble with the song, but this time it was because he hadn't heard it and therefore didn't really know what to do. He didn't know that there would be fireworks going off behind him when he finally came forth from the world of ghosts. That's why it took him a while to get comfortable on the set.
Whatever happens, even when everything's down, I'ma stand tall.
Number 5. Only the outfits were different in All Eyes on Me. Everything else was impeccable. That's right, Dirty Candy absolutely killed it, on the show and during the rehearsal. Now, we don't really know how these girls trained for this epic scene, but we're pretty impressed with how everything turned out. And yes, the only thing that was different were the girls' outfits. During the rehearsal, they weren't as flashy as they were on the show, but regardless, the dancing and singing were impeccable. Hey wait, we got so carried away with Dirty Candy's dancing that we almost forgot about Alex meddling on the dance floor. But he wasn't so pass-through-y as he was in the movie. It was still hilarious, so we'll give it a pass. Number 4. Finally Free, from a different perspective. Finally Free has almost 13 million views on YouTube, and it's one of our top 5 songs from the show. And now we have the rare footage that will show you everything that went on behind the scenes when shooting it. If you've paid close attention to the moments the Phantoms appear on the show, you know that it's a routine stunt. Because they don't have the magic of editing during filming, the band is all set up and on the stage. When they have to appear, the music goes way up, the light beams brighten up the stage, and the actors just jump on the mics and start singing. And yeah, you can't help but look at the 2 cameramen sitting on a moving platform and the guy that's pulling them back and forth.
Hearts on fire, we're no liars, so we say what we wanna say.
Number 3. I Got the Music took numerous shots to film. And here is the second most difficult scene to film of the entire show. That's because an entire school of kids had to be choreographed in perfect harmony for I Got the Music. For example, just shooting this one part of the song where Julie's marching around the piano took several shots to film. And you can see Kenny, the director, trying to make sure every move is just perfect. And again, there's the guy pulling the camera.
It's like the beat is taking over, weight off of my shoulders, dancing instead.
Number 2. Here's the Bright the cast saw. There's a reason we've decided to place this behind-the-scenes footage so high up on our list. The reason is simple. You see, during Julie's performance of Bright, the Phantoms realize that they will need to help her out. But also, they find out that others can hear and see them when they're performing. And because this was such an important moment on the show, we thought we would give you some of the preparations that went into this scene. Just like previously, the boys jump out from behind when it's their turn to sing.
I felt like I needed some help, stuck in my head with nothing left.
Number 1. On the Edge of Great Wasn't Really Magical on the set. This is one of the most iconic and the most popular songs from the entire show, and it's definitely our favorite. And yes, we've managed to find one of the deleted videos that they did before shooting the actual scene. As you can clearly see in the background, there is no Alex. He's replaced by some other girl that's pretending to be playing the drums. And of course, the magical moment when the boys finally joined Julie on the stage was done by manually opening the garage doors. It wasn't anything special, just 2 guys that crawled behind Julie, opened the doors, and allowed Luke and Reggie to burst out singing. Kind of bums you out, doesn't it? On a related note, do you think there's something going on between Madison Rayes and Charlie Gillespie? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.